All right. I'm here with Baba Lasagna. Seems like a really cool commander. Someone played it against me, and I'm like, oh wow, I want to try that. I like the strategy. You sacrifice up to 3 permanents, not 3 permanents. So you can sacrifice one if it had 3 permanent types. You basically steal 3 life from your opponent, and you draw 3 cards. So things like Chromatic Star, right? You sacrifice this. It's an artifact for the requirement, for the type. You draw a card. When you sacrifice this as is, you don't even need to trigger this. I also have this. It turns all of your creatures into lands, so they have 2 types when you go to sacrifice them. So it's a lot easier to do this without like sacking all your lands or your actual lands. Bullets to Citadel because it's a disgusting card. Casualties of War because a lot of people might just scoop to it. Some token generators. We have Tireless Tracker and Tireless Provisioner to make artifacts. We have the One Ring Shieldred nonsense. I had like Blood Artist in here and Cutthroat and Bastion of whatever. Every time you sacrifice a creature, you steal 1 life from your opponent. But it seems like I might just wind up sacrificing my Blood Artist to this, and it's like, well, I guess I had no reason to play Blood Artist, right? It just doesn't really feel good. I have Reassembling Skeleton. It just comes back on its own. It's not really a good card, but you know, it's a decent sack outlet, right? Or fodder, sack fodder. This is an artifact and a creature, just as is, and if it's also a land, it will do all 3. I don't have Vault Scourge in here, or like Ginger Brute or anything, which would also be 2 creature types. Probably should, but when I started this deck, it had like 130 or 140 cards in it, and I'm looking at it like, wow, all of these cards feel pretty solid for this commander. So it took me quite a while to shave it down to 100 cards. It was like really, it took me like, whoa, man, it took me like 40 minutes just staring at this, thinking like, what do I take out? What do I run? What do I not run? Obviously, I'm me, so I ended up shaving some lands. It's probably going to bite me, but we'll see. A bunch of efficient 2-mana removal spells, discard spells. This is a removal spell that also can be sacrificed as my enchantment, as a creature type. Reclamation Sage is a naturalize, but it's also one that stays in play, so I can, again, sacrifice it to this. Nothing really on the top end like Ulamog or Liliana Dreadhorde General would be good, right? Every time I sacrifice creatures, I draw cards. But I'm kind of already doing that, and that costs 6 mana. And if I'm sacrificing my mana dorks to this occasionally, I don't think 6 drops are really ideal. But we'll see. This is kind of sketchy. I hope it works. We'll find out together. Like, comment, subscribe. Okay. This turns things into artifacts, so it's easier to do this. Forgot to talk about this card. You never sacrifice it either as like your artifact, because you know you always have it to turn something else into an artifact. So it's something you literally never sacrifice. Reassembling Skeleton. I think it's better to play this. I keep thinking Haywire Might's a 1/1. I don't know why. I kind of want to just blow up any mana rock. Nope, no mana rock. Alright, I don't think my opponent's going to block, but I'm gonna see if they do. Yeah, I didn't think so. They're too scared of me doing something disgusting, which is totally fair. Let's play you? Yeah, we play you. When was the last time I tapped this for 2 mana? I have no idea the last time I tapped this card and it generated 2. Whoa. Well, we got out ahead of our opponent, but still need something to do with all that nonsense. Let's play... No, let's swing with these. And then sacrifice... I guess I'm sacrificing a land here. You and you. That's artifact creature enchantment, or artifact creature land. Hey, hey, nice. Alright. Do this. My opponent really doesn't want that thing to die that's sitting in place, so that means I'm going to kill it. And then I guess I'll play Wolf Strider and pass. So I still have artifacts. The Gitrog monster would be good in here as well, right? Oh, yeah, my opponent is done, but... Because every time I sack a land, I draw a card, so maybe the Gitrog monster would be decent, but the problem is it's a 5-drop. Tails in, dude. It's probably worse than Emrakul, actually. Tails in was worse than Emrakul. Tails in was the worst thing to see there. Emrakul, at least, I mean, they can -2 this, like on my turn or whatever, but at least, like... It's not gone. They literally... It's like a 2-mana removal spell because I didn't even get to activate it or anything. Okay, let's lead with that. This is interesting. What is this? Boromir. Okay. Whenever a player casts their first multicolor, each other player draws a card. Cool. So do I think I'm going to just leave up Heartless Act. Yeah, I'm going to leave up that. No mana was spent. Sacrifice. Okay, well, I absolutely have to kill that. That is one of the best mono-white threats in the game. So I shall. Liliana looking pretty good this game, just like last game, except there's no Tails in to worry about. Does this give hexproof? No. Niet. So I don't want them to poke me. I'm just going to play this. I don't want them to harass my Planeswalker. Oh, cool. Please have no answer to my commander? Please? It would change the entire tide of this game, because I'd also lose Liliana. Please don't have a removal spell. Alright, looking good. Looking good. They shouldn't have flashed this in if, well, I mean, maybe they just have to. Maybe they just have to. Creatures you control gain indestructible. Okay, that doesn't stop anything. Oh, it does. Right, the ring. Right, the ring thing. Gotcha. Alright, so they kind of, sort of had a removal spell. Okay, now I can't kill their Gideon. Well, I mean, I still can. So, do I play this and make a treasure? Yeah, because then I can also Murderous Rider, which I want to do. The ring tempting was actually relevant. That's really funny. I am not activating my... Yeah, I'm not activating it this turn. Let's just swing. Oh no! Oh, the Gideon! The Gideon! I got the one ringed. I got the one ringed. They had protection from my commander and I still swung with it. Whoops. That's funny. My opponent did not cast their commander. I don't know why. I kind of want to make a food here, but it doesn't really matter which one. I'm just going to wind up sacrificing it to this anyways. Let's put this on this land. Doesn't really matter. It's just a cycling enchantment for my commander. So that, this, and that. Whoa, Strider. Sure. Do I use the treasure to cast... No, I'm just going to play Woe Strider. I don't know if you can hear that, but the Ice Cream Man's outside. I haven't heard the Ice Cream Man all year. This is the first time. Is it 25th of June? Wow. Alright, yeah. My opponent's just going to fall behind more and more. I'm going to be stealing 3 life from them for the rest of the game, and as long as I have like a steady flow of things to sacrifice, it doesn't really matter if I'm getting rid of my own creatures at this point. It does play kind of strange with Priest, right? Because this requires a lot of sacrifice. That does not work with this, but it's got the word sacrifice on it, so I guess I gotta run it. Awesome, Andy. Okay, Atali's problematic. I beat it before, but that's not... It's not really saying much. I can stop Mana Dorks and Artifact Ramp, which is probably a reason to keep this hand, but I'm not doing anything else. I'm just going to keep it. I don't know. I think this is a terrible matchup, so I might as well, like... Oh. Okay. Not going to lie, I was not expecting Ragavan. That's odd. Like, extremely strange. I guess it's really, really, really good on turn 1. It stopped me from blowing this up, which I said I wanted to do that, so that, yeah. Okay, I didn't get what I wanted. I was looking for Casualties of War right there, although it's probably not right to pick it anyways. I kind of want Thoughtseize, but I guess Maelstrom Pulse. It's like I can cast it next turn. I would have loved to have blown this up, though. Absolutely. But, I mean... Alright, cool. We won anyways. Ooh, I'd love to be on the play with this hand, but nope. I am going to kill that. Alright, Mana Rock. Mana Rock. Mana Rock me. Come on. Mana Rock. Oh. That's not good. Well, maybe Bolus's Citadel just, I just cheese out a win with it. Alright, my opponent did play a Mana Rock, funny enough. Oh, you have a counter spell? Oh. Oh, all right. Yeah, all right. That's fine. This is an artifact. I can totally sacrifice it to my commander at some point. Love to see it. Maybe I just break the game right now and I play 600 things. Or maybe I don't do anything. Should probably just play Bolus's Citadel. Because it's, you know, Bolus's Citadel. Or my opponent has a negate. Yep. Silly me. Alright, well, I blew up their mana rock, they blew up the treasure, so they can't replay their commander next turn. Oh, yes, they can. It's a 4-drop. I keep thinking it's a 5-color card. I don't know why. Okay. They have to -2 here, right? There's no way they don't -2. Oh, no, they don't. They're plussing. That is just a 2-mana 2/2 flyer. You got it. Alright. It'd be nice to activate Castle, but I'm just gonna put all this into play. And okay, I guess I'll do this. Kind of forgot I could. Alright, that's pretty dope. You gotta love it when your mana dork does weird stuff. It also is both creature type, like 2 permanent types when I animate a land, so I don't actually have to sack a creature. But that's still only 2. I need an artifact or an enchantment, preferably not a planeswalker. I mean, you only got 1 card in your hand. There you go. Alright, well that was probably one of the worst things that could happen, because the 1/1 counter on their 3/5 is extremely problematic. Let's do this, let's do this. Hey, that's actually really, really good. Look at that. Green source. Do I do it now? There's nothing I can possibly draw that would make me want to do this right now. Yeah, I don't think so. There's no, like, 0 mana spell that I could possibly, like, want to do this with, so. I've already played my land as well. Yeah, this was, like, a really good draw. I am not going to respect Tail's End if my opponent, like, found it. So be it. I'm not gonna do that. I mean, there's no... I mean, yeah, I mean, I get a free block, kind of, but there's no... I don't know. There's not much reason in not immediately doing it. They don't swing, I guess. So, artifact, creature, and... land? Okay. Alright. So... this could naturalize the Dryad, and it probably should. Looks like whatever that card is in their hand, it is in fact something they want to... or it's an instant of some kind. Phyrexian Reclamation is just like really, really good here as well. It's actually like insane. So I'm glad I... Yep. Haha! My opponent probably immediately saw it and scooped. I don't know the last time I don't know if ever I have spammed value from this card. This would have been the first time, like, at least in a long time. So, I haven't played a land yet. I can play a land, activate this, sacrifice, I guess, the Shade to this, because I need an additional mana, and then 4 mana to play Simulacrum, and then I can do the thing again. Yep, I was just, the engine was online. Cool. It does not take many artifacts, or I should just say non-creature, non-land permanents to get this going, so I'm just barely getting over there, but that top deck Simulacrum was just really, really good. Alright, so I took out some jank nonsense that didn't feel good, and I added some more artifacts, some cantrippy artifacts to just make it easier to do this. Ornithopter of Paradise should have been in here. Lembas seems hilarious, and I think this card is... It's a sleeper. Something about this card just makes me excited. I don't know why. It's like, it's so basic. I don't know. Play against Omnath or the other Omnath, the 4-color one. Always have their one of Risen Reef. It always happens to me. I don't know why. It is the most prolifically starting hand card in the entire game. I always see people playing Risen Reef. If it's in your deck, it's in your hand. That's the logic. The one card I didn't want to see, and they had it. And it drew, like, what, I think 5 cards? I think it drew 5 or 4. Might have been 4. I don't know if I would have won anyways, but obviously that's 4 or less cards to deal with, which is colossal. Okay, I think I prefer to do this instead of discard. Maybe that's wrong. I don't have much going on for my commander right now, but I'm not upset if my opponent counterspells Solemn Simulacrum, that's for sure. It looks like they don't. Okay. Looks like a removal spell. This is a really bad thing to kill, but I'm never upset with that. Looks like it is a removal spell, but they don't want to cast it. This is like one of the worst things to target with your killy cards, alright? So, I'm going to swing, and then I'm going to play the One Ring, and maybe that just wins the game on its own. So you land, discard spell into the One Ring. Opponent chose to keep up removal instead of EIing. Let's get rid of Soul Shatter. That's probably one of the better ones to have there. Alright, so no answer to the One Ring, which is really good for me. And I don't think I'm going to tap it right now. Opponent did not cast this. I feel like they want to use their mana this turn, so maybe it makes sense to just kill this now with, like, the free mana, because they floated all their mana so far this game. In fact, this is the first spell they've cast. Looks like they can just still cast it anyways. All the same. All right, I'm gonna tap this. I feel like I'd be a fool not to. So I'm never really gonna go for my commander, at least not anytime soon. Don't think it's a good idea, given the current situation. I could pick up my discard spell, but my opponent hasn't shown me anything I want to, like, blow up or discard or anything. Okay. Land. This. I found Castle, so it's kind of ideal to dump my hand. And I can't cast anything that I could pick up with the regrowth right now, so the removal is piling up, that's for sure. The removal in my hand is piling up, and there might not be a lot of targets for it. Sauron is not all that scary. My opponent has less life than me, even though I have the One Ring. Though I guess this can change that, right? Deal damage and gain life, yeah. You don't really ever see the black one. You see the white one all over the time, the White March. Not really the Black March. The Red March is cool, but I used it in like a Clothis deck at some point, I'm pretty sure. That's one of the worst things for me to kill, but I'm going to do it anyways. Oh, it's a dragon. Ha! I can't kill it with Power Word Kill. That's fine. I mean, yeah. If they exile, that's fine. The treasures aren't really that big of a deal either, so... I kind of prefer if they exile, actually. They do. Alright. Oh! Alright. Nezahal's not in the game, but Fable will be. That's problematic. Liquid metal coating is pretty good here. Let's see what's under the ring. Liliana is also extremely good here. They do have an answer to it. Maybe I can actually do something about that. Yeah, let's pick up my discard spell. Cast said discard spell. And then play Liliana. Dang it. So they have yet another pretty solid answer to this Liliana. Well, eventually, right? They can't just instantly do this, but like eventually they can. It is pretty taxing, but I mean, yeah, it's taxing. It's pretty taxing for them to do this. All right, let's play this and swing. It is an X-Spell. They don't have to exile cards, right? So they can just kill Liliana. But it is their entire turn, and that means they're not casting Fable the Mirror Breaker, which is really good for me. I think they have to play Fable, though. I don't think they can take the time to kill Liliana here. I don't think so. Could be wrong. Alright. They can always kill it next turn anyways, right? Because they play a land and then the X is always taller and taller. So it's not like they're losing that option. The ring is getting kind of sketchy. Getting kind of nervous here. I do have a way to get Shield Druid and also get it back if it dies. Pretty neat. Oh, what's this? A black spell? They want to exile here? Nope. I mean, of course I'm doing this. Okay, so let's kill this. Provisioner might want to make food here. What is this? This is an odd time to do this, but sure. They're going to discard... This has to be a black spell for this to kill Liliana. It's 2? Okay, so if I did plus first, they actually couldn't have killed Liliana. So that, I guess, was a slight mistake, because my opponent gave me the option to. I should have. Yeah, I guess that was kind of wrong. But, I mean, you never know. They could hold on to those spells anyways, and the game would be different. This also does force the issue where now I can actually play my commander. Right? Now they don't have any removal. So it actually wasn't that bad. I mean, they get to see 2 new cards, though, but whatever. Maybe they keep this and reanimate their dragon. They do. Well, I guess they can, because their hand was 3 lands. So I can kind of offset the 1 ring with my life gain from this. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, amass orcs. Whenever an army deals combat... Okay. I have to sack an artifact or legendary creature to target him. Not too difficult. Yeah, I want my first spell to obviously deal with this. Pay 4? Yes. Sacrifice my blood token? Or the food token, I guess? I don't think it... Oh, it has to be a legendary artifact? Oh, dude, I'm stupid. I'm so stupid. That's embarrassing. So which one am I getting rid of? I guess the One Ring. I mean, I should have tapped and drawn 4. I just missed out on 4 cards before I sacked it. I thought I could sacrifice anything. Yep, that was a rather large mistake. I missed out on 4 cards. That is a huge, huge blunder. Okay, let's do artifact, creature, and enchantment. Draw. I draw 4 anyways, but could have drawn another 4. I don't care about this. I'm not going to blow that up. Let's play you. You. And you? Or you? Oh, you cost more mana. Well, not really, because I have to get rid of a treasure. Okay. Yep, this is just a lowly little 2-2, not doing much here. But I should absolutely see 4 more cards than I have. Okay. So I can sacrifice my own commander to that and not feel that bad about it. Haywire Might. No, that's not great. I think I'm gonna... Alright, so let's... Artifact... Artifact, creature... Oh man, how many times have I undone it? I've undone the click so many times. I'm like, alright, I gotta float the mana first. There we go. That's a whole lot of good stuff right there. So I'm probably gonna sacrifice my commander to theirs. Let's do that now. Yeah. So they have a 2-2. This resolves. Get rid of you. Run out a bunch of stuff. My opponent does not put their commander in the command zone. Interesting. Oh, Blood in the Snow. Maybe it was wrong to just dump out all these permanents. Could be Blood in the Snow. Nope, it's nothing. Maybe my opponent either misclicked or just thought their best bet was to reanimate it at some point. Yeah, I wasn't doing all that much. But this is actually the second person I would argue scooped to Phyrexian Reclamation. Because I can just incur so much value, right? I basically turned into Madraltha once I have this into play. Sitting into the battlefield there. I could have let my commander go to the graveyard and picked it up, and it would have been cheaper to cast. But when my opponent put this in the graveyard, I got a little confused. I don't know what's going on there. This is certainly not a deck that wants this as a win condition. It's just an Esper... It's just like, what's his face? The Esper wizard guy. Saruman or whatever? And Sauron is just the Grixis version, where you're just playing this in the command zone, but you're just playing a control deck. Which is cool, alright? Just, alas, we had not gotten there. Well, they might struggle to kill Shieldred, but it's kind of slow. Well, okay, my opponent actually did not have a 1-drop. That's actually insane. Can't really stop Squee from being a card, right? 4 other cards in your graveyard? Alright, I guess I can stop it. It's the earliest threat. And it takes quite a while to get going. So do I care if they... Oh no, they can't fragment this because I get a mana dork. That's how this works, right? Yeah, I would just get a mana dork if they killed this. Well, most of the time, I'd just get another mana dork. It wouldn't have accomplished anything. They can do it on my upkeep, so I actually lose access to the mana. They do not. Alright, so I didn't hit a land. I guess the goal is to just race with a Liliana ultimate then. Seems to be the case quite often. Seems to be the case with this card. This doesn't answer. It's just creatures, right? Creatures, artifact, enchantment. Yeah, okay. I was about to say, they have a card that does something? I don't think they do. Please play Winota? Well, this has haste. They probably play that, right? Or nothing? No, that doesn't make any sense at all. They're going to make 1/1s? I have no idea why you... Like, what? Okay, I'm a little confused. Should I play my... This exiles anything, right? Enters the battlefield, exile target creature, and opponent controls a power creature. Okay. So what I should do is Stone Cold Nothing, and then Murderous Rider, whatever it is they choose to do. Currently, they just want to make okay, they want to make 2/1/1s, and then play Winota and trigger Winota twice. That's what they're trying to do. And I almost lose the game completely if they find a land, because then they... Oh, never mind. That's not a protection spell. I thought it was. Okay, never mind. This isn't as bad. I mean, they could still have a protection spell, but they're gonna need one. Okay, so we really need to kill that now before they go to combat. Oh, yeah, that's fine. You got it. Alright. This is weird. It's kind of odd to do. This is a strange time to do it. I got a Minotaur. I ended up getting a Minotaur. That's funny. So I get to kill one of these, and then Winota can come back, and they can do it again next turn, but I have another removal spell to poke the other one. So, not necessarily in a terrible spot. I can't see myself as... Wait a minute, let me just make sure. Yes, okay. They did kill my second black source. That is notable. They need a land. They need a land. Squee is getting kind of close. Okay. So I think I'm going to chump block with the army token. It's not like it does much here. So Winota is only non-humans. This is in fact a human. So it doesn't really count. It's like, you know, a thing you find with it. Ooh, that was... Is that good? What am I doing with it? Alright, so let's start with this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... No, I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't really... I can't really use this. Unless I want to play one of these. I kind of want to play this. I mean, this is just, like, stupid good right now, right? How can I not want to play this? It just feels ugly. Everything just feels kind of ugly, but... Target creature, all abilities... Okay, so this shuts down my Shieldred. Okay, my opponent gave up. I got into their head too much. Got into their head. Taking too long. Target creature perpetually loses all abilities, then deals damage equal. So it perpetually loses all abilities. I've never seen this card before. This is basically your second copy of Swords to Plowshares. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, I've never seen... It's a common, too. This would be interesting in Pauper. This would be really interesting. Oh, wow. I've never seen this card. Deals damage. Yeah, I like that a lot. So I guess I'm not playing Shieldred. I mean, it's a decent blocker. It's still a 4/5. But I think at that point I just play Ring and I sack my Bowmaster to kill this, or maybe this, or maybe I just don't do anything. But then I just wasted my Dark Ritual. I mean, it made my opponent scoop. What do I do here? That's actually quite an interesting position to be in. If they find a land, just casting Winota doesn't trigger off of this. And this doesn't do anything. It's just sitting there as a 1/3. They just played a 4/4. It doesn't have haste either. I don't have a great block unless I play like a 4/4 or something, so this could get poked. I might have to just chump the 1 because I want this to get to 7. I think what I would have wound up doing, though, is just playing the 1 ring and then sacking the Bowmasters with the Spark Harvest. I think that makes sense. I mean, instead of chump blocking, right? Yeah. So I think we go Ring, Spark Harvest. Yeah, that's what I would do. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So this deck is really fun. I really like this commander. I'm surprised I don't see more people playing it. Maybe it's just like in such a low tier bracket, you just don't bump into it. I don't know. But it's really fun to play, and there are probably like 150 to 200 cards that you can choose between for this commander. There are a lot of options. It is hard to get top end into play when you find yourself sacrificing lands, and then it gets even harder when you're sacrificing mana dorks as well. And you're trying to remedy that by playing stuff like Terrarion and Spare Supplies, all that. So, got to be mindful of that. Also, this doesn't do anything when it comes into play. It's one of those commanders, right? You just play it as a 4/4, and then your opponent kills it, and it doesn't do anything. Doesn't have haste, no evasion, and it has a fairly steep requirement to activate. But once it gets going, it's really strong, right? It's like a 1 ring in your command zone, kind of. It just starts drawing cards and, turning your weaker things into more scary things and trying to overwhelm your opponent with value. I think Bolas's Citadel might not belong in here. It's hard to get the 10 non-land permanents in play when you're sacrificing them so much. And if you have the 1 ring in, like, other stuff that costs life, like Grim Tutor and stuff, Murderous Rider, it's hard to spam this. So this might actually just be better as Casualties of War. There's a lot of instances where Casualties of War would have been good after I had taken it out of my deck. So I think I might end up changing that for the list I post. Anything else to say? Schmeagol never got to do anything, but I mean, that's just going to happen. I don't even think I saw Tyvar. I don't think I saw this. Like, untap my commander and then do it twice in the same turn. That's a lot of things to sacrifice, though, so good luck. But it gives your commander pseudo haste, right? Play this on 3, and then this has haste because of Tyvar, but you're playing this on turn 4 doesn't immediately mean you're activating it, right? Like, what are you sacrificing Tyvar? Like, what are you doing? So it's not even that, it's not that exciting. What else? Davriel wasn't amazing. I never really got to use it. Every time I tutored, I was wishing I had a big scary thing to play, and I just didn't, right? So maybe taking out Acquisition if you're not going to play Casualties of War makes sense, but if you're going to add Casualties, this probably should stay in. I mean, most of the time I'm just getting the 1 ring anyways. This card is proven to be absolutely insane. This might just be like an auto-include in well over like 70% of commander decks for the rest of time until it gets pushed out by stronger cards in 15 years. This card is just absolutely insane. It's just insane. You never feel bad about the life loss. And I mean, shoot, I end up talking about this card more than my commander at the end of the videos. It's just such a stupid card, but hey, I mean, the protection is cool too. You play this and you're safe for a turn cycle, which is kind of weird. And I mean, you'll take it. You take it, right? Why not? You have protection till the turn cycle ends. It also immediately replaces itself. It's also indestructible. It also incurs so much value. It's arguably a must-answer threat, but it's indestructible, and it's not a creature. It's an artifact. It's just really hard to deal with this. Incredibly difficult to deal with this. Some decks cannot deal with this. I know the commander people were complaining about, like, oh, you know, Elish Norn is too strong for commander. Elish Norn, the 5-mana 4/7 is too strong. Like, what are you guys talking about? Like, it's not. And then you have a card like this. I haven't heard a peep from the people, the commander rules committee. I don't think I've heard anything about the One Ring being a problem, but to me this seems far more insane than Elish Norn. This can go in every deck, right? Literally any deck this goes in. So expect to see this card everywhere. Like literally everywhere. If you have a mythic, rare, wild card and you don't know what to craft and you play a ton of historic Brawl, just craft the One Ring. You will put it in the rest of your decks forever. Mono blue, 1-drop tempo with Spell Pierce, you know, that kind of thing. Curiosity, all 1-drops and maybe some 2-drops would still find a spot for this. It is so pushed. But yeah, let me know what you thought about this commander. I thought it was really fun. Certainly 12 different ways to build it. I could come back and make 3 videos in a row and they'd all be fairly different about this commander. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you guys next time.